In the lesson in this course on how to shoot and light green screen video, I promise you a bonus lesson on how to use video editing software to get rid of the green background in your video. Well, this is that lesson. And so I've got Sony Vegas opened up here, and what I'm about to show you is pretty much going to work the same in any video editing software. The principles are the same. It just might be that the names or maybe the workflow is a little bit different. And what I've got here is the actual footage I used for that green screen video. It was shot with a flip style camera, a Kodak ZI-8, and in that video I mentioned that my background is far from perfect. I have creases where I tape the posters together, and some of the posters aren't even the same color green as the other posters, and I told you, hey, don't worry about that. We'll fix it in our video editing software, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So in Sony Vegas, what I want to do is go to Video Effects, and I'm going to grab a filter called Chroma Keyer. Now, chroma keying or chroma keyer, it's just another word for green screen. So in your video editing software, if you're not using Sony Vegas, look for the chroma key filter or the chroma filter or the green screen filter. So I click on Chroma Keyer, and there's some presets here. Because I used a green screen, I'm going to grab the green screen preset, pull it down to the video, and boom, like that, my green background is removed. So why do I have this black background? Well, remember that green area is going to become transparent, and we can replace that background with anything we want, another video clip and a picture, really whatever we want. Because I don't have a background selected yet, by default in video editing software, everything's going to turn black. And if we look at this, while Sony Vegas did a good job right off the bat of removing the green, it's far from perfect. I can actually see tape right here where I tape the posters together. And again, because I was using posters with different color, I have different colors of black. So this is the big secret of what you want to do. Sony Vegas, I'm going to go down here to the Show Mask Only. In other video editing software, it might be called Invert or Mask Multiple or Mask Multiply. It's going to be some reference to inverting or masking your video. And when I click this, watch what happens. Boom. It looks like it's an X-ray. And what we want to do here is we want to adjust this so the background is completely black and I am completely white. And the way we're going to do that, there'll be some slider bars. And first I'm going to grab this low threshold, and watch as I pull it, the background becomes darker and darker, and I'm going to keep pulling it until that background is solid black. Now what I need to do is make sure that I am solid white. So to do that, I'm going to go to high threshold, pull it. I'm going to keep pulling it until I appear solid white. That's pretty good right there. Now the final thing we want to do is we want to look at this outline. We don't want this outline to have jagged edges. We want it to be a little bit smooth. That's because when we put the background behind us, the background we want to use, everything is going to kind of seamlessly flow from you to the background, and there won't be any jagged edges, and it will look more natural. So what I want to do here is just blur this a little bit. I'm going to grab the blur. I could blur it all the way up here. Now that's way too blurry. I just want a little slight blur around me so the edges aren't so sharp. That looks good about right there. Now once I'm done, I go back over here and turn the Show Mask Only off. Boom, we can see what the final result looks like, and I'll go ahead and close this. All right, now what I want to do is add a background to my video. I got rid of the green, and like I said, you can use any type of background you want. You can use a video or a picture, whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and use just a white background, kind of like the Apple commercials. So what I'm going to do in Sony Vegas is go over here to Media Generators. There's an option called Solid Color, and I'm going to grab the color white. And what I want to do is drag this color below my green screen clip. So I'm going to go down here a little bit, grab the color white, pull it down here below my green screen clip. I'm going to close that window that popped up. Okay, and there you can see the final result. It looks pretty good. Now, if you needed to go back in, maybe if it was rough around the edges, or if you had dark lines around your edges, what you could do is go back in to your green screen filter, and you can go back down and adjust those thresholds that I told you about. You can kind of tweak things, eye things up to make sure everything looks good. Now, additionally, at this point, if I wanted to apply any type of color correction or clean up my video, I can do that on myself as well. For example, I can go back to the video effects, and I could grab like the brightness and contrast filter that I showed you in a previous video, pull it down here. Now it will not affect the green background whatsoever. It's only going to affect me. Right here I could pull down the brightness if I wanted to, or add some contrast if I wanted to, or really anything else that I want. Now, a word of warning, it may take a little bit of playing around or a little bit of time or a little bit of fiddling with that green screen filter to get your footage looking the way that you want. Using green screen and working with it in video editing software is really more of an art than anything, so I just wanted to throw that out there. You may not get the perfect looking image like I got right away. You may need to play around with it for a little bit. But really, how easy or difficult it is to work with your green screen footage in video editing software all comes down to how you lit and shot your green screen video. And if you follow the tips and techniques that I gave you in the green screen lighting and shooting video, you should have an easy time of it like I showed you here.